Hey YouTube, it's Mike playing Gangster. Okay guys, today this is going to be one of the most awesome tactics that you guys are going to use. You're going to need to use these in your game plan because I know a lot of people have a hard time keeping a lead in this game. So I created park the bus tactics that basically will frustrate your opponent to the point of like most likely you will just fucking leave the game. Okay. So anyways, a lot of people have a hard time keeping a lead. These are park the bus tactics that you could use. Let's say when you're 2-0 up, you're basically ahead by 2 goals, or maybe you're ahead by 1 goal. It's the 70th minute and you want to park the bus so you could keep your lead. Okay. So we're going to go into custom tactics. We're going to go to the, don't worry about the ultra attacking. It's just because it's set up there, but it's not really that. So the first of all is the formation that we're going to be using. One of the best park the bus formations is actually the 4-2-3-1 second variation. That's the one that's wide, right? The one with a bit of width. And the reason why you're going to need this, you're going to understand with the tactics, okay? So now, defensive style, we don't go on drop back. Drop back is not very good in this game, but you go on balance. You don't want your players to go crazy, but I'll explain in the D-pad what you need to do afterwards. So this is where things get kind of interesting, okay? Now, the width has to be 30. The reason why it has to be 30, as you can see, if you go to 31, it says over here, adjust your defensive team to a shape to be balanced, and you may find it one-on-one situations are more common when you have the ball, okay? When you don't have the ball, my mistake. But if you put it at 30, it changes. It says adjust your defensive team shape to a narrow adjust to cover the central position to make it harder for your opponent to play through the middle of your team. So for you to do that, you need to go on 30, okay? I don't suggest going lower. I just suggest going on 30. That's when it gets activated. That's when your defensive line becomes completely narrow. The other thing, it's with the depth. If you have it on 31, for example, adjust your defensive shape to be balanced and keep your team in the middle of the pitch, but you don't want that. So you have to go on 30, because that's when the message switches over here and it says adjust your team defensive shape to be deep to give you less space behind your back line for long balls and fast strikers to make runs behind you, right? That's one of the biggest things. If you ever notice that when you're in the lead, you seem to get counter a lot. Well, this is going to stop the counter because the players won't be able to make those runs or won't be able to make those lob balls over your defenseman. The only thing is that you will be playing deep. They will have more spaces for long shots and more possession over the opposition team. But that's okay because we're not trying to score goals here. The long shots, you have to basically mark the players that have the ball, so you still have to put some pressure on that player so he doesn't take the long shots. But at least you're not going to get countered and you're not going to get through balled and you're not going to get over the tops against you. So that's what you're trying to stop when you're parking the bus, right? Now, when you're offense, you have to understand one thing. When you're parking the bus, you want your team to be all near you, okay? So it's very important to be on slow build-up because you don't want them to be rushing, because you're not trying to counter your opponent here. What you're trying to do is just trying to like keep the lead and not lose the game, okay? So you want everybody near you. So you do slow build-up and you do possession. Possession keeps everybody very close to you. And that's very important. This is another very important thing. If you look at the width, if you go like 70, for example, and under, it says adjust your offensive team shape to be balanced for generic position. But if you put it at 71, it says adjust your offensive team to shape to push wide players towards the sideline. That's important. You have more passing options wide, but less in the middle of the pitch. But that's okay. We have everybody in defense compact, but once you get the ball, you want to open up the play. So you want your width to be completely wide. So you could basically hug the lines and basically move the ball away from your defensive zone by moving the wings, right? Players in the box, only 3. Again, we're not trying to score here. We're just trying to keep the lead. That's it. Corners 1, free kicks 1. Instructions. Every single player in your team is going to be coming back on defense. That's including your striker. So the striker, we have him on stay central and come back on defense. I actually want to put getting behind. I haven't tried this, but I'm going to put it just to see what happens if ever like I get a chance to counter if Keane just goes for it, right? Now, for Benzema, we have just come back on defense. For the wings, we have just come back on defense, both of them. Both our CDMs are both on cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, and cover center. And of course, our wing backs are on stay back while attacking. The goaltenders on come on for crosses and sweeper keeper. So that's the park the bus tactics. Hopefully this helps you out. Make sure that you have the right tactics, because being at 31 and being on 30, or being at 70 and being at 71 changes everything of the tactics. So these are just things that you can't change. Also, another thing, that when you're in game and you're parking the bus, since your players are not on pressure on every touch or in constant pressure, any of those tactics, they're on balance. They seem to kind of stay a bit neutral and not move too much. So what you're going to do in the D-pad when you're at the 70 plus minute, for example, and you want to keep the lead, whatever, you're going to go in the D-pad and you're going to do over ball sides, okay, on the D-pad. And what that's going to do, it's going to create everybody to move as a unit towards the ball. You know what I mean? So yes, you could like wing it and stuff like that, but it's okay. Everybody's pretty close to each other, so you just have to basically use your wing back or your right mid and defend those type of positions when that happens. But I'm telling you, this will definitely help you keep the lead. Try it out. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. You know what I mean? Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.